Hey, what's up? It's Troy, the Vape Zone here. This is the Dynavap M7, new for 2024. Compared to the 2023 M Plus, this little tip is supposed to transfer less heat to the stem. And in this video, I'm going to attempt to test that. Look how dirty my desk is. Oh my god, rage bait those commenters right there. In this video, I'm using a Fluke thermal camera. And I have it set up here on my desk, and I'm going to do my best to heat the tip until the stem, or at least a midpoint on the stem, hits 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I know this test is kind of loosey-goosey, and I'm trying to be a little scientific without being ridiculously strict. This is just a loose test. Right now I'm just getting some baseline thermals on the stem and the tip, and getting a feel for the distance of focus here on the thermal camera. It may not be 100% accurate, and sometimes the thermal imaging doesn't quite line up with the background imaging, and that's something that we just gotta deal with. First up is the M7, and I'm gonna heat it just like I normally would heat the tip if it were loaded with the good stuff. I don't have a lot of experience with this one yet, so I think this is how I'm gonna be heating it. And again, I'm looking for the midpoint on the stem, like midpoint between the air port and the tip, to reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I just pulled these numbers out of my ass just for a quick baseline test to figure out how much heat is going into the stem. I think I was missing with the flame for maybe a second or so in the beginning, so this number is probably off. There's a little bit of error. But right there, that took 33 seconds for the point that I chose to reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The tip is up there, 234, looks like the highest temperature read, and then going down into the stem, 188 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not very warm. Like, as I creep my fingers up towards the tip, there's not a lot of heat. There's definitely not a lot of heat. So right there is where I'm choked up to and holding it. And it's barely warm. It's kind of remarkably cool, but again, without traditional use, it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. A real world test is needed. So now I'm going to pull out the M Plus from last year and attempt to do the exact same test. I want to heat it to traditional way, so I'm aiming the flame right at those heat here hemispheres. And I'm going until the stem is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think the spot that I initially chose and pointed the camera at was a little too close to the tip, so I had to readjust. It's like right there, it's already 100 degrees, so I'm going to move the camera down a little bit. I think I chose poorly. Yeah, this is a little bit better on the M Plus, but I did go further down a little. And the M Plus, let me see here, let me count this. Yeah, the M Plus took 28 seconds for that point to reach 100 degrees. Now I realize that this test is very prone to error, and even like a 5% error margin will throw these numbers off pretty far. So for my next test, I'm going to heat both tips. I'm going to hold them both in my hand, heat both tips. I'm going to use one torch and heat them just a few seconds here, a few seconds there, alternatively, just to get them both roughly to the same temperature. Like here we got both of them in the 140, 150. So it looks like the M Plus is a little bit cooler than the M7 here. The M Plus is on the right. The M7 is on the left. The M Plus is cooler than the M7 tip. I put more heat into the M7 tip than I did the M Plus. Right here, you can still see that it's hotter up there. It's 140 on the M7, 137 on the M Plus, but the stem on the M7 is cooler. If we can go back down, can we go back down? Yeah, there we go. No, please. Yeah, so yeah, the tip is still hotter, but looking down at the airport, 97, 95 on the M7. 99, 100. It's like 103 on the M Plus. So the M Plus is a lot hotter. It's transferring a lot more heat, even down to that airport level. Some of that, yeah, it's still 102, 103 above the airport, just above the airport. And it's only 94 on the M7. It's a pretty big difference. It's a pretty big difference considering that the M7 tip is hotter here. Right, I put more heat into the M7 just to give it an advantage. If you find my content useful or this video useful, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, use code TROYTIME at Dynavap, save yourself 10%. There's coupon codes and more on my website, and there's more videos on my website because YouTube restricts what I can show here. Thank you for watching, and peace, love, and stay happy and high and hydrated and all that stuff.